I'm Heather Blue.
Kenny Nelson from Denver, Colorado. Sweet Georgia Blues.
2013.
2013. Going for stuff off of the Spirit Blues documentary. Did a lot of rent party feel. I think everything was actually rent party, even with the drags at the very end. So stuff that we did, we just really started off by just talking about walking and posing. Yeah, so just walking in style.
Around.
And occasionally check each other
I
out.
might just look over here.
And another move that maybe I start doing it by myself.
Like I'm with him. And then eventually I reach for him.
All right. Yeah. And then we can just walk, and anytime either one of us wants to leave, oh, she's initiating that, and we just go our
I
own
go
way.
find another guy.
Okay. And then we started off with solo stuff. Would you like to go first, or shall I?
Go ahead.
Okay. So we were focused on Apple Jacks. We were talking about we could do it on the toes, or we could do it a little bit flat-footed. We were going for a little Applejack slide, Applejack slide. So that was one version. Another one we had was ba 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 ba.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. We had some side sways that started with just going sideways and putting the hip out, and then we started rolling it back, so it ends up with this figure 8. So we did that, and then we also did basically kind of a boogie forward in place, where I've got one foot in front of the other, and then I just roll the hip. And then we talked about how there's some different boogies we can do. We can actually use our knee if we want. So it's kind of the same thing. And there's also the broken one, which is like kind of steps through, and we added an Applejack to that one big Applejack. That's where we started.
Cool. And so we were going off of that, and then our next meetup again, like we're doing these different moves. Boom, we're walking up to her. We might end up connecting, and then I'm going to ask for some rotation. Bring her straight into me. Corte. Yeah, and then we can go for a little leg hook, a little shiver right there. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. And so we can just come up, just slightly different angle. Yeah. Just leg hook that, block her, cover with your leg. Right. Right. And then that's when we again went off to some more solo.
More solo. So we did some Latin movement. So we started by taking the top side to side. And then as I went to the left, I took my hip out to the right, let the other leg fold. So doing that on both sides. Then I start walking with it, letting the arms work. And then we added this in as we went. And then we also walked around with the hip.
All right, my turn. We had particular fun in this one. So very similar actually to what the ladies did in the very first one. We were just kind of going flat foot, roll. And I was using this more of a progression, so flat foot, roll. And just so I don't walk into the camera. And we were just really talking about making this angle and roll that. Yeah, so we wanted that just dynamic. Another time we were just going lunge, 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 kick and boom. All right, so that's what we were doing also. All right.
And then we did the grizzly bear.
Grizzly bear, we were talking about on the video. You can kind of see that, somebody might be messing around, and then you just sort of see him just diving right in there. But either person could initiate it. You could also think about it of this as an A-frame position, hips back, neutral spine. The move that we were doing, I'm just going to switch angles right there. Stylized rock step. And we were looking for keeping this connection right here. And really important is, guys, feel her connection out. See where her weight is. Some of you were rushing it on her. Take your time. You're asking for her to go into an extraordinary position, so be kind. Big nasty drags.
From there, we got into the big drags.
So let's scoot this way just a little bit. So we were talking about how we're borrowing this from this grizzly bear A-frame idea. Boom, boom, ba, ba, shoot, right there.
This is a little bit different than a regular drag where I'm stretched out. My weight is mostly down and I'm twisting, keeping with both legs bent.
Yeah, and I find for me it's a little bit similar to that also.
We talked a lot about trying to get the girl's arm up and over. I'm trying to put as much pressure across here as possible so that it's not all here.
Yeah.
So he's not just holding me
We were
up.
talking about that earlier with the ladies initiating stuff. If it was both arms at the end, if she wants to drop low, it would screw my skeleton.
Yeah, I tell him